NFL season, I commented that I had never related to Taylor Swift more after she was caught saying, "I want to effing kill myself" while watching the Chiefs. This past week, while referencing Israel and Iran, Donald Trump said they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I also relate to that statement after having to watch Bill O'Brien run the Houston Texans and Dana Holgorsen coach the Houston Cougars at the same time. Welcome to the Moonstamp Cast. I am Jordan. This is oh my God, another screen pass to why are you calling a bubble screen? Brian, how are you doing?
Doing all right. Golf got rained out today, but that's okay. How are you doing?
Yeah, okay. Can I just say this? Am I crazy on this statement? Has it rained more this summer than usual? Am I crazy in saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we haven't had a hurricane yet.
Okay. Well, no, that's like a one-off. That happens every once in a while. Like I'm talking about every summer. I feel like at least in this June, it's rained almost every day.
It's rained a good amount.
It's like I love it because we never get rain in the summer. But this is off topic. I have lavender I'm growing right now, and lavender hates water and loves sun, and it's kind of fucking with my lavender right now. It's kind of making me a little angry. I can see it's not growing as well as it was in the beginning of the summer. So while I do love the rain and also the fact that it's like not dry all the time, my lavender does not, and this is really going to annoy me if in, let's say at the end of August, my lavender is not giving me flowers or whatever it does. So that's my big thing is I just want my lavender to grow along with like my rosemary and stuff, but that can do whatever it needs to do. So yeah, I felt like I was crazy saying that because I think it's raining
more often for sure. It definitely feels like this has been a wet June.
Yeah. All right, Brian, let's get into this. The Astros. This is a weird week where this is the first week of like no real sports. Like we have baseball, but baseball's in the swing of things, not to the All-Star break yet. Feels like everyone's going down with injuries still. I feel like there's not a ton to talk about this week. So welcome to the dog days of sports and summer. We'll have NFL soon enough.
2 months of this.
Well, by the way, the Astros their kryptonite for at least the past week and a half has been the A's walking them off because they did it twice, and that makes me really angry because I think everyone hates walk-offs if you're the opposing fan because it's like there's a ceremony to it. There's an ecstatic excitement to it. But then
if you open any social media, that's one of the first things you're going to see is haha, you fucking lost.
Yeah. And then like the thing is, it's jubilant. Like it's fun to see walk-offs. The thing is, you're like the one fan base that can't participate in it. And seeing it twice in the A's of all people, that did suck a lot. So I'm not particularly happy with that. But that said, the Astros are still in first, so who gives a fuck? We still have a really good chance of making the playoffs and the World Series. So we
have the second best record in the AL as of recording. Past the Yankees.
Does it feel a little crazy to say that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's asinine.
Yeah. It feels like, we're second best in the AL right now. Like I know we're playing actually pretty well. It just feels like we're not second best. I think we also hate our own team in some sense, in that we just expect them to do. For most of our lives growing up, Houston sports were not good. The Rockets were pretty good. But like the Astros were bad, the Texans were bad, the Dynamo were the Dynamo. They were good, but then that was another team basically they brought in. And now the Astros do well. I always expect them to lose. So I expect the 2005 World Series to happen all the time. To be fair, I confirm my bias in 2019 and 2021 with the weirdest World Series of all time.
I think the Astros are going through their DJ Khaled phase. And I'll explain. There is an album cover. I believe it's DJ Khaled. If it's not, this clip will never see the light of day. Where he's kind of like got a headache, and I think the album's name is "Suffering from Success."
Suffering from Success, yes.
That is us. It's like we didn't win every single game. We're not going 162-0. What the fuck is this team? This team sucks.
Well, it's not even that. It's like I feel like everyone is injured all the time. I don't know. It feels weird. It still feels weird to be like a successful team, a dynasty. The Astros are, I'm not going to say they're out of their dynasty phase, but it feels like the 2022 Warriors were like, oh, they're there too. That's kind of how I feel.
Let's get one. I would love to beat the 2022 Warriors. I would love to see one last one.
I think I think we can get one more, either this year or next year, maybe the year after. I think we have it in us. When Jeremy Pena leaves, maybe things will change because Scott. Can we talk about like Scott Boras infiltrating the Astros locker room? Why is every single Astro who gets someone to a level of success, we're like, oh, we can make some money, choose Scott Boras as their agent, and it does.
I can tell you exactly why.
Altuve?
Jose Altuve probably recommends them as an Astro and is probably like, well, I can talk to Boras and hopefully they can stay. And then Boras fucks him over and over again.
Yeah, if Jose Altuve he's like a secret agent or like a sleeper cell at this point, because it seems like every time I hear the word name Scott Boras that relates to the Astros, it's a guy who's going to leave. Like he's just not going to stay around. It's going to ask for. It's like Bregman this offseason asked for a lot of money, and it seemed like no one wanted to give it to him. And then like the Astros didn't want to give him that much money because they didn't think he was worth that much money. And then he goes to the Red Sox, and it's like, okay, that sucks because like I'd love to have Bregman around still. I don't, I'd love to. I think Altuve's never going to leave. We're good on that front, unless like something crazy happens with the front office. Even if Boras does the Boras stuff, Altuve's never leaving. Well, Pena can pull a Carlos Correa and go somewhere else. So I'm not a fan of Scott Boras, and I'm tired of him being part of this Astros clubhouse in a way. So Jose Altuve, if you can hear this, the Donald Trump, if you can hear this, please save us. It's like, Jose Altuve, if you can hear this, please stop letting Scott Boras talk to your friends. He's like the bad influence your parents talk about in school. You're like, oh, you're hanging out with that guy. It's like that, except it's a grown man who's a sports agent.
Yeah, no, I despise that man. The problem is he's just doing his job. It's partially on Crane for not backing up the truck. He's getting his players paid as much as possible. That's his job. So it's hate the art, not the artist, which is such a reverse. Like I think Scott Boras is kind of a piece of shit too, but I mean, he's just getting his clients paid as much money as possible, which is his job, which is why they hire him. That's why he's successful.
Can you think of anyone like an artist that you're like, oh, he's a nice guy, I love him so much, but his art sucks? I'm trying to think of somebody because usually it's like the artist.
No, it's hate the artist, not the art.
Yeah, I can't think. I'm trying to think of like anyone right now who I'm like, oh, this is a wonderful person. Like maybe Charlie Puth. Like Charlie Puth seems like a great guy. He knows music. He's like a musical genius. It seems like. Except every time I hear his songs, I want to bash my head into a wall because there's just nothing to them. Like there's fun pop, and then there's what Charlie Puth does, which is like basic generic. Like it's Cole's commercial music. It's music you hear at the grocery store at 10:59 at night. Just to kind of get you out the door. So I don't know who else that could be, but yeah, Scott Boras again. Actually, I don't know if I respect him because I think he actually is bad for baseball because he drives up prices to an extent where they're unreachable and it kind of screws up the entire market. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't like his tactics. I think it screws everybody up, and I think it screws up the entire market. Also, I don't think he helps his clients as much as he thinks he does because a lot of teams are not going to be willing to pay the price that he's asking for. Again, I'm not an agent, so I could be so wrong on this.
I think he puts pocketbook wise. I think he puts his clients in a really good place, but I don't think he does. He doesn't put them in the best situation. If he can get $5 million more to put him in a shittier situation, then he's going to do it. And he maximizes as much money as possible. That's it. Scott Boras, I guess.
Scott Boras is the Adam Smith self-interested capitalist idea incarnated, that he's going to do whatever it takes to make himself money. Mm-hmm. Like you said, he'll make $5 million more if he ship into the Royals versus make $5 million less. And it's like, hey, I'm going to go play for the Braves, or not really the Braves, but like the Dodgers or somebody. So I'm not a fan of his, but maybe that's because all the Astros dealings with him have been pretty, like even Altuve's dealings with him, or the Altuve Boras dealings have been shitty. I hope he goes away fucking forever soon. Once Altuve retires, which probably in the next 5 to 7 years, I'd imagine.
Whenever he gets 3,000. I think he retires after he gets 3,000.
I don't think he stays after 3,000. And to be fair, if the dynasty's dead at that point and he's like, okay, I got the 3,000, I'm kind of tired of baseball, Go live your life. You'll be celebrating Houston forever. You never have to buy a drink in this town. You don't have to buy anything in this town forever.
I literally only have one other baseball note.
Okay.
And that's Kyle Riley?
Kyle Riley?
Kyle Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle Riley is slashing .278 with 32 home runs, 68 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, and a 1.048 OBS.
Yeah, I saw that.
Holy shit, as a catcher.
As a catcher. I've seen people say that he shouldn't be in the MVP race. I think he was only like a 202 OPS plus versus like a Judge 245 OPS plus. At the same time, I don't think I'm crazy in saying the catcher is probably the most important person on the field at all times because he directs the outfield, he directs the infield, he directs the pitcher is the most. He's like the quarterback. Maybe we can say
the quarterback is the most important person on the field.
I was going to say maybe the catcher is, but the catcher is the most important. He's directing the defensive changes in the outfield and the infield. He's calling the pitches. He has every single note on every single batter.
Okay, so here's what it should be. He's the Mike linebacker that's in charge of the defense.
Okay.
Because you're trying to go offense and defense on
Yeah.
He's the Mike linebacker in charge of the defense.
Yeah. And the fact but imagine if your linebacker went and played running back and was like getting you 3 yards of carry. I'm like, oh my God. Or even 2 yards carry. Like, oh my God, he's doing that too. That feels like what Cal Riley's doing right now. I truly think he should be one in the MVP race right now. And I'm not joking. Like, I know you throw Aaron Judge in there and be like, yeah, but he's Aaron Judge. That's awesome. His batting average, I haven't checked in a while, probably still in the 300s, 400s.
So by your logic there, do you think it's more impressive what he's doing compared to what Shohei Ohtani does?
Well,
come on, Jordan.
Well, hold on. If Shohei Ohtani pitches again, then yes.
He did. He pitched 1 inning.
Yes, that's okay. If Shohei Ohtani pitches more than 1 inning at a time for maybe a game, if he pitches a couple times this season, I'll say yes. Right now, it feels, Brian, outfielders who are losing 14-0 have pitched 1 inning before. Now they've done actually as well sometimes. I'm not going to use 1 inning as a line of demarcation. If we're not going to let Lance McCullers Jr. be like he sucks as a pitcher because of 1 inning against the Reds, we can't let Shohei Ohtani be like, well, look at what he's doing because of 1 inning.
I didn't say the season. I just said in general. Is it more impressive what he's?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Of course, it's more important. Like it's more impressive what Shohei Ohtani hasn't done. But Shohei Ohtani is more impressive than like all baseball players right now in terms of he can pitch and he can pitch well. He can pitch really well and he can hit really well. Again, he's just a DH right now, and that's not his fault. It's his body's fault. At the same time, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest and say, hey, he's awesome. He's amazing. Let's pitch more than 1 inning. And then we can have that conversation again. I'm not gonna every single pitcher in the league, I'm not gonna let 1 inning to define them unless they're Trevor Bauer and the NPB. I don't know if you know about that. He pitched 1 inning and gave up 7 runs to the worst team in the NPB. I'm not gonna let 1 inning define what I think of a pitcher. Or really, like if anyone came in for 1 inning, pitch the entire season, and be like, okay, like you're the fun guy. You're when I have in my fridge. I'm like, shit. What do I have? Oh, that Topo Chico seltzer from 3 months ago. Sure, I'll drink that. I don't care.
Dude, one of my favorite tweets is the bullpen night, and it's like a Miller, a Michelob Ultra, a Coors, a seltzer, a White Claw, a Truly lemonade, and it's that's such a good tweet.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was coming up with an analogy. I'm like, what's the bullpen game equivalent of what I'm trying to talk about? But yeah, Shohei Ohtani's really impressive and really cool and awesome, and I love him. I do wish he would pitch again, just because I think it would add to the mystique. Just like the 50-50 season. I think the Ronald Acuna Jr. 40-70 season is way cooler. Because stealing 70 bases is way harder than, it's 10 home runs versus 20 bases. With that said, Cal Riley should be top of the AL MVP discussion right now.
Yeah, I mean, Judge is the number 1 dog because what he's doing is insane. But, I mean, Cal's giving him a run for his money.
And also, he's a catcher. Maybe we shouldn't take specifics, but I don't know his defensive stats off the top of my head because I don't think anyone's ever known catcher defensive stats off the top of their head. But I
we
think
sure did when we had Maldi.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing we could get through. That's the only like every Astros fan.
That's all we had to latch on to.
That every Astros
It was
fan.
the copium.
Yeah, I was like, listen, like I understand he's batting 150 right now, but like look at Verlander. He loves the guy, and he's a very good defensive catcher. Look how many balls get past him, and then it's like, oh my god, we have a pitcher who can hit or a catcher who can hit about 200. Thank God. I mean, he was the easy out of every single World Series.
Oh yeah,
it got frustrating to a point where it's like, oh my god, he's up again. Just put the fucking pitcher in. Honestly, put Greinke in.
No, imagine if we played in the NL and they didn't have the designated hitter, and bottom two people in the lineup would have been Maldonado and our pitcher, and it would have been like, well, that's 2 outs an inning. That's
I would have had Greinke 8 and then Maldonado 9. Yeah, because like he's actually a better hitter. So I don't know Cal Riley's defensive stats. That is, I need to look them up, and when I do look them up, I will have a better argument for why I think he deserves to be at the top of the AL MVP race. Because Judge is not like a phenomenal fielder. I don't think he's a phenomenal fielder. Cal Riley, I don't know though.
Anything else on baseball? Because I've got a good transition.
I do have a couple things on baseball.
Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
On Cam Smith's first 225 plate appearances, he's slashing 276 batting average, and then was it 347 on base percentage and 424 slugging percentage. Compare that to the first 225 of Aaron Judge, who we just talked about, 256 batting average, 348 on base percentage, and then 569 slugging percentage. And then Kyle Tucker was 202 batting average, 262 on base percentage, 370 slugging.
So Cam Smith is better than Aaron Judge is your official hot take?
No, because his stats
are going to be bigger.
I think he can be as good as Aaron Judge. I don't think he's going to be.
Wow,
as much
that's actually insane, dude.
I don't think he's going to be as much of a slugger, but I think he will be a great hitter. He may not hit as many home runs as Aaron Judge, but he also probably will have fewer strikeouts than Aaron Judge. He'll have more, doubles and singles than Aaron Judge. So that's like my official
postseason. See how we can really compare him.
Let's just listen. Yes. Any series that they have. Actually, I need to find all our Yankees series at the end of the season and compare how Judge did and how Cam Smith did. And hope for the best. I'll find a way to spend that somehow. Last note, the 2023 Rangers should be under investigation. I don't know how they won that World Series. What happened? If you look at them the past 2 years, they lost like 7-0 to the Orioles a couple nights ago. I think it's time to put someone under the knife on that one. Let's figure out what happened that year because it was not fair. They were using cowbells or something, whatever they use in fucking Arlington, Texas.
Nothing would make me happier than finding out that season was a sham. Not a sham. It is a sham because they've done nothing since, but nothing would make me happier than finding out that they cheated because holy shit. Their entire argument. Then their whole thing is like, we're tied 1-1 because one of our titles isn't tainted. If they lose theirs, we're up 1-0. It's beautiful. Fuck you.
I was gonna say we can say this. We can always spin it. We didn't spend millions and millions of dollars putting a team together. They did. So in a way, it's an asterisk in my mind. They bought theirs. That's no better.
I have no issue with, by the way. Like outside of that, like any other team and any other sport that builds or buys their championship, good on you. Your GM and owner are actually giving a shit and wanting to spend money. The Rangers, however, are the devil and they did it wrong.
They spend too much money. We expect this from the Yankees, but not from the Rangers. They've gone against their nature. You actually have a great transition there about building the team the right way. And OKC, they are NBA champions. Who cares? Like, not offense to OKC.
What is this one of the biggest letdowns in a Game 7 series?
Yeah, because it was the first Game 7.
The first game was so good with the last minute.
Yeah,
how like the Pacers won in the last minute. I was like, this series is going to be fucking sweet. And then it was blowout in the second game. Indiana wins in Game 3, I believe. And then it was just ass kicking, holding on for dear life Pacers for Game 6. And then Game 7, Halliburton his Achilles explodes, which sucks. That really sucks. It could have been such an amazing series. And this doesn't take anything away from what the Thunder did. It doesn't. They are the best team in the NBA, and it wasn't exactly close. It does suck that we didn't get a proper Game 7 with Halliburton being healthy.
I'm going to stick by my take last year, which it's the Noah Lyles take that the Oklahoma City Thunder are the best team in the world right now, compared to, easily. Now, I think going to the season, everyone expected them to get pretty far. And this was
Take a step forward.
This was the expected
outcome.
Not go
all the way.
Yeah. I think this was the expected outcome, kind of. Obviously with any sort of championship with playoffs involved, anything can happen. Look at the Celtics, who are also imploding right now. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're pulling like a Jerry Krause right now with the Bulls.
Way too much money. They spent way too much money, and they knew next season is going to be a dead year because Jason Tatum's hurt. He's out for the year. Which, by the way, those 3 Achilles tears for those 3 players worth a lot of money. 3 Achilles tears all wear number 0.
Really? Oh, I didn't even
Damian
know
Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Halliburton all wear number 0. All blew out their Achilles.
Really? That's kind of crazy. I did not notice. I didn't notice that ever. I've seen I saw the meme whenever Halliburton tore his Achilles that the last sacrifice was Halliburton for the Pacers championship. Turns out that didn't happen. It did felt like during that game the Pacers would come close for the first 2 or 3 quarters where they come close and then Oklahoma City pull away. Close, Oklahoma City would pull away. And this is not to take anything away from Oklahoma City. They are. I think Mark Titus ranted on this, and I kind of agree with this rant, which is this was a hard team to watch play in the finals just because SGA was foul baiting every single shot he got. And it kind of got to the point where I was losing my mind. And with that, Oklahoma City was they were very hacky. They loved hacking. There was that video of TJ McConnell getting his arm pulled by, I can't remember who it was on OKC, and the ref was looking directly at it and not saying a word. And throughout the entire series, I felt at times where I'd watch and I go, oh my God, how are they getting away with that? If I were a Pacers fan, I'd lose my fucking mind right now. And I kind of was. This is not taking anything away from OKC as well. OKC played a fantastic series. OKC got here on their own merits. OKC really was kind of expected to do this. At the same time, I come away from the series going it felt like Purdue basketball winning in 2022, I think, where it's is this really the way you wanted to win? I understand every OKC fan's going to look at me and be like, I just want to win. I don't care. That's how you play the game. We played within the confines of the book. At the same time, it's but it kind of did suck to watch a little bit.
I know why you're so off put by it.
Why?
Because a Gonzaga player won something.
That's very true. It makes me angry. No West Coast Conference team should ever win anything whatsoever. No, no school without a football team should ever win any championship in anything. That's my actual hot take.
That's pretty good. That's not a bad one. Because they don't have to spend the resources.
To be fair, they also don't get the same amount of resources as a football program. So in a way, it helps and hurts. At the same time, it's are you a real school if you don't have a football program? There are D3 schools with football programs and basketball programs. So I think actually Gonzaga has to get a football program now because they're joining the Pac-12. Or are they? I don't know. I don't know how anything's going right now. I've forgotten that entire world. But I do think they actually have to get a football team. So, but it is surprising as long as Reed Timmy or Drew Timmy, Reed Timmer, Drew Timmy, same thing. One's a meteorologist and one's probably an insurance salesman at this point.
Do we want to talk about the big thing in the NBA for us? The way bigger news?
The KD news? I got a message from a guy at work, and he was like, hey, great job doing that. I was like, oh, wait, what are you talking about? He's like, the KD trade. I'm like, I hate to tell you, but I did not have any involvement in that whatsoever.
Yeah, thank you, but I didn't do anything. I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't do nothing.
I actually actively didn't want KD. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Brian, what this means for the Rockets. I am listen, glad Jalen Green's gone. He needed to get out of the city.
Glad. I liked him. But he wasn't gonna. It's obvious he wasn't improving like we thought he was improving. He's supposed to improve, not for what he was going to be paid.
After the last season, and also the series against the Warriors, I think it became obvious to everyone he just wasn't going to be that guy. You have Şengün, you have Amin Thompson. Those are two guys you're like, hey, let's build this team. Now, here, Brian, I'm not going to pull in Emmanuel Acho because I think his math equation was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I try to create a lot of dumb math for our blog. I took calculus in high school, and that was the extent of my mathematical range. At least I didn't just divide and say, I got it, boys, like Emmanuel Acho did. So with that said, I don't particularly want a 36-year-old with brittle bone disease who has shown that will be boisterous about his opinions on the locker room with a bunch of young guys who don't need that in their heads. Now, do I think KD can maybe take this team to the next level? Maybe. I think he maybe can. I don't know if I'm as ecstatic as some people. Because, again, I think KD's a Hall of Famer. KD's one of the best basketball players of his generation. Is he still one of the best basketball players right now to help this team get to where it needs to be?
Yes.
Really? You think so?
Because he can take Jabari Smith and he can take Tari Eason and he can turn them into the players that they could turn them to mini versions of him.
But where's he done that?
You don't like. So this isn't just about getting KD on this team right now. We have a very young team, a team that's kind of struggling to still find his identity. He can mentor these players into being superstars.
But where has he done that?
I don't care where he's done it. The past is not defined now. He's never had a coach. Well, I guess he had Steve Kerr, but Steve Kerr wasn't asking him to do that.
Yeah.
He's never had a coach like, I can't pronounce his name.
Ime?
He's never had a coach like him. Hold on. That's the optimism. The pessimism is that Ime and KD are going to fucking despise each other, and this is going to be an implosion. Now, here's why I'm not upset about the KD trade. This is what we gave up. Jalen Green. We weren't getting what we thought we were getting out of him, and he wasn't going to be worth the max and all that, all the money we were going to have to spend. Dylan Brooks. That one hurts a little bit, to be honest. That one hurts. I like Dylan Brooks. I think he is a great player to have on a team. He's not going to be your superstar, but he's kind of like how Patrick Beverley was for a long time with the Rockets. He was the junkyard dog. He was the defensive voice. He would fuck with people. It was great. He was more than just a basketball player. He was a mental game too. We gave up the 10th round pick this year. It wasn't even our 10th round pick. It was the Suns' 10th round or first round pick. First round pick, 10th pick overall. It's the Suns' pick that we basically gave him back. And then we gave him 5 second round picks. I don't give a fuck about second round picks. Not right now, at least. We kept Tari Eason, Reed Shepherd, Şengün, and Jabari Smith. And now we brought in KD, and we still have Steve Adams, and we just signed Fred VanVleet to a 2-year, $50 million contract with a player option for the year after this. We're not necessarily done either, by the way. And we still have the Suns and Nets first round picks in 2027. Sure, that's a couple years from now. But we still have multiple first-round picks, and we brought in a superstar, one of the best scorers in NBA history, who's still playing the game at a high level, by the way. He gets buried at the Suns, but that's because I think we have a better supporting cast than the Suns. Bradley Beal has been awful. One of the worst contracts I've ever seen for a player in the NBA, just because of what he's delivered for the Suns. Nothing. I mean, Booker is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but it was KD and Booker, and that was it. And we have such a better bench and such a better surrounding for KD. I think this is a great move, and I think we at least go to the Western Conference Finals this year.
See, you and I are on different levels because I actually think we didn't give up much, and I'm happy about that. And I think KD, in a perfect universe, can really help the team as a player. I don't think he's the mentor type. He's never shown himself to be the mentor type. Now, here's the thing. He could go to he could be like a Kyrie in Dallas, where he just changes his mindset, changes who he is as a person, kind of, and acts incredibly differently. Now, I will say, I don't know if KD and Ime will have the same relationship that Kyrie and Kevin or Jason Kidd do. My worry, Brian, is that, and I will relate this to, we'll talk about this later, to a man named Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers comes into a team and everyone goes, this is going to go perfectly. Everything's going to work out. Now, maybe in the Steelers, we're not thinking that this time. But they think, hey, this is a really cool thing. You didn't give much for him. You didn't pay him much. Let's bring him in. And then 2 years in, the team implodes. And I feel like for the past two teams, which is both the Nets and the Suns, KD's gone there. It's gone well in the beginning, and then it just kind of implodes. And I'm not sure that I want to risk this young core, this potential of building this team from the ground up like the Rockets have, and saying, let's bring KD in, who, again, I'm not arguing that he's a great player. He's maybe top 15 all time. I don't know. I'm not going to, maybe top 10. I think probably top 15 is more likely. I'm not going to fight you on that one. I still think he's a great player. But do I want to risk the potential of this team on a guy who has shown he can be a little pissy sometimes? And that's where my worry comes in. The worry is not, we gave up too much, or, he's not going to play well. My worry is, okay, well, what does this look like in 2 years? Maybe we go to the Western Conference Finals this year and we make it there. But what's the year after that look like? And I think KD, since he left Golden State, has kind of shown that there's a high ceiling, but sometimes the floor gets a little high, a little low too. And that is my worry. And I'm worried about wasting what could be a golden generation of the Rockets on hoping
but
KD.
It's not wasting it. They're so young, dude. But 2 years spent, sure, it might fucking come back and bite us in the butt. There's no denying it. But I'm saying 2 years for how young this team isn't much. Does that mean we're going to have all the same pieces at all times? No. But the core of this team that we have, Eamon Thomas, Sengun, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason. Those four players we should have for a long time. Now, Reed Shepard, if you want to throw in there.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm throwing him in yet.
Those players we can keep together for more than just these 2 years. So if the KD thing doesn't work, we can move on and we still have that core. I want to list what I was looking up while you were talking. I was listening, but I want you to listen to this lineup. Eamon Thompson, 6'7". So that's your one. Tyree Eason or Jabari Smith. That's your two, 6'8" or 6'10". Kevin Durant as your three, or your four. No, your three. Sorry for this. Your three, 6'11". Sengun as your 4, 6'11". Steve Adams as your 5, 6'11". Height's not everything, but holy shit, those the 1, 2, and 3 are tall athletes that get after it. So they're bring you the athleticism as a small guard, but also bring you the height that is beneficial. It is such a fun, big, dominant lineup to think about.
I'm never going to disagree. Now, as a Houston Cougar fan myself, I have to pretend height isn't anything that matters. Because as Kevin Sampson once said, or Kelvin Sampson, not Kevin Sampson, no 7-footers. I pretend that doesn't matter. It's really cool, though, so I can't say that out loud too much and come back to bite me. Again, I am not fighting you on the lineup. I am not fighting you on this. I am saying I worry somewhat. And you say that we can keep them together if Kevin Durant doesn't work out. Sure, but what if Eamon Thompson's is just wrecked? What if Jabari is just wrecked? What if Steve Adams fights Kevin Durant? I don't think it's going to happen. What if it happens?
You can't just say is wrecked, like getting injured. You can't assume injury.
I'm not saying assuming injury. I mean, I'm talking about confidence. Look at a Devin Booker. Devin Booker had star. He could have been a star.
Still, no. Whoa! Could have been a star. He is a star. He's a phenomenal basketball player. I'm
going to argue that he's not as star he could be right now. I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. I think he has a lot more potential to go.
Who? I'm going to throw some names out there, and you tell me.
I'm not going to answer your questions because I don't know NBA basketball as well. So give me the names.
Trae Young.
Probably less of a star.
That's an instant yes. You would take Booker over Trae Young.
Yeah, that was the question. Sorry, I was going to say he was
Yes.
I was going to say Booker was a bigger star than Trae Young at this point. Huh?
No, I'm saying who would you rather on your team?
Oh yeah, Booker over Trae Young. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's not where he could be.
LaMelo Ball.
That don't give me the balls. I do think that probably. I don't know with that one actually. I do like LaMelo Ball a lot. I think you have what situation were you putting him in?
They're putting him on the Suns.
I mean, I'm going to take out Devin Booker then because Devin Booker's going to work better on the Suns than LaMelo Ball will because LaMelo Ball's going to have to come in and be a new player.
No. Sorry, we're not. I didn't do this right. You're starting a team.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
you're starting a team.
Yeah.
You said no to Trae Young. LaMelo Ball, you were on the fence about.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson.
I'm going to take Jalen Brunson over Devin Booker.
I don't know about that.
I feel like I'm going to take him over Devin Booker.
I don't know the NBA that well either, so I might be insane here. I might be just getting lost in the sauce about a name, but I'm taking Devin Booker over Jalen Brunson. I liked Devin Booker after the Olympics. I was a big fan of. I liked him. I like Devin Booker. I'm just saying where I think you could be is here, and I think he's let's say here right now. Now, do I blame KD? I don't blame KD for that. I'm just saying sometimes things happen in team dynamics where it shoots confidence and really destroys the player that the player could be. Devin Booker also could be back up here next year. I don't know. Now, again, this is all a hypothetical situation where I'm trying to discredit the fact that we have KD on our team. Maybe because I am weary of... You need to embrace it, man.
You need
to embrace it.
Here's the thing. Come November, I'll embrace it. Right now, I get to be a cranky old guy on the internet and be like, well, are we sure about that? And be like, oh, Scottie Pippen would actually be a better choice. Except, it's Scottie Pippen posted AI images of himself.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was really weird.
Just take the picture, dude.
You have I actually actually imagine he doesn't have the 6 rings anymore at his house. Also given his given his technological abilities, I don't know if he could do that, but I mean, he used AI, so I think he nails technology somewhat.
Or I'm sure you could just set up a laptop and not face the screen, and who cares if it's off? I don't know. That was a weird picture.
It was. I mean, it's kind of what Scottie Pippen's done ever since he left the Bulls. Just kind of be a weird guy, and then have your wife stolen by your kind of ops son. Not really, but also it didn't seem like you loved each other at the end there. So whatever.
I digress.
I had another thought about the trades in general.
Go ahead.
Why are they happening during the NBA Finals? I don't love that. I wish
because
they weren't.
The draft is
I know.
Tonight.
Well, here's the thing. The draft's not like Christmas. It's not set in stone. We can change the day of the draft. Adam Silver, just be mean to me. Put the draft next week and let trades happen before then. I don't really know why. It goes to the whole NBA doesn't seem to care about the NBA Finals very much. Why are we having these big trades happen during the finals? It takes away from the finals. If in this theory, if I am a guy who just loves the NBA Finals, I don't want to talk about the NBA Finals. Or I'm an NBA guy. Maybe I only want to talk about the NBA Finals. I don't think I want to talk about the Celtics imploding at that point. I don't really talk about KD. I don't want to talk about everything else happening because I want to focus on the finals. Now, I am cool with the moment the finals are over. Let's do that. But while the finals are happening, I feel like we should just focus on the finals, right? No other sport does this, by the way.
No, I completely agree with this part because imagine if Tom Brady decided to sign with the Buccaneers, at halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Or Shohei Ohtani signed with the Dodgers in the middle of the World Series.
Yeah.
You are completely right. If you are a commissioner, you want all focus, all eyeballs. Don't worry about retiring, trades, free agency, nothing. You want all eyeballs on your finals. That is the only thing that matters right now.
And again, it's not
it's weird that the NBA doesn't embrace their opportunities. Now they had pretty sure they had a very nice ratings.
They did. They had
comparative to past finals, and with 2 small market teams. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I could be wrong.
I think it was $20 million for Game 7, something kind of.
But why not? But you're right. Why not make it your sole focus? Fuck everything else going on, because all I cared about when KD got traded was, all right, I'm just gonna look at KD highlights and be like, ooh, we got a fucking killer on our team now. instead of giving a shit about Game 7. I mean, I cared whenever it tipped off, but like there was no like, man, Game 7 tonight, man, let's go. It's gonna be a good time. Got to get bets in. Got to get, I wonder what Halliburton's gonna do. Can he really lead this, this team from come back into OKC after winning the first game and lead them to a championship after everyone's counting them out at every step of the way? No, I was thinking, KD score bucket.
Imagine if like use your Tom Brady analogy. Imagine if Tom Brady had announced his retirement the day before the Super Bowl. I think Roger Goodell would have hunted him down and said, "No, why would you do that to me?" He would have hunted him down, and like I don't understand. Like again, this is all because the NBA draft is tonight or tomorrow. Last night, if you're listening to this on Thursday, and so you can move that. It's not set. It's not set in stone. It's not like Christmas. Christmas happens December 25th every year. The draft doesn't have to happen June 25th every year. It's not like a law. Like Donald Trump did not pass a law in Congress and be like, actually, Adam Silver, you have to have the draft this day of the year. You can move it. Like you can just do that. And Silver, it just continues to show like, I feel like he doesn't know what he's doing half the time. And I don't understand, like, again, with Roger Goodell, I know he knows what he's doing and he doesn't care. Rob Manfred knows what he's doing. He doesn't care that I'm not happy. He wants me to be unhappy. Adam Silver is like, oh, I'm a cool mom, actually. I'm gonna let you guys drink at 13. It's like, no, that actually wrecks brain development. Let's just move the draft like a week later, and then we can have the trades in between. So I don't know what he's. It just kind of like gets me fired up because it's if I'm on the Thunder, if I'm on the Pacers, I'm a fan of those teams. I want the focus to be on the finals. This is my moment. Like if I'm SGA, if I'm Halliburton, this is my moment. This is the big thing I've been working towards my entire life. These guys on these teams, this has been the entire life's work has led up to this point. But then you go like, oh, actually, I just watched KD highlights. It's like, no, you should be pining for another game. And I don't understand why. Like, again, I've been thinking about the Celtics, Jerry Krauseing themselves the entire week. Sure, Game 7 was the same. Game 7 happened, but it's not my sole focus. I'm not when I wrote my notes, I have other things to talk about other than the NBA Finals. It should be only about the NBA Finals right now, except now I'm being like, well, Cooper Flack's going one, but who's going two? It's like, why are we talking about that this week? We can talk about it next week. So I don't know. I think I have beef with Adam Silver because every decision he's made for the past month has made me annoyed. I don't know. I don't know what it is with fucking Nosferatu, but I just don't seem to jive with him.
That's all I got on the NBA.
I was gonna talk about the parade. I don't care that no one really showed up in OKC. I don't. Yeah, dude. Celebration.
Comparing parades and being like, haha, no one showed up to your parade. You're still a loser.
Yeah.
You still lost.
Yeah.
It's not happening in your town.
Yeah. No, but it's what was it last year? People started talking about the Celtics, oh, well, Jason Tatum was corny. It's sure, but at the same time, he is an NBA champion and you're not. So whatever. Sorry, I just had to get fired up about Adam Silver. I think that's a new thing. Every week I have to be mean to Adam Silver on here for 5 minutes. So
find something to be mean about it.
All right. NFL kind of mentioned this earlier. Aaron Rodgers is now a Steeler. And he said he's going to retire. He's not going to retire. He's not sure, but he said he did 1 year for a reason, and he might at the end of this retire. Which I go, are we gonna have to endure a Rodgers retirement tour? I don't think I could physically do that. I think Coach K's retirement tour got me fired up because it's not about you. Aaron Rodgers, for the past 3 seasons, we've all wanted you to go away. We're all tired of you. Why are you signing with this? We mentioned Ime and KD. How are Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin going to get along when Aaron Rodgers is doing meth in the woods?
Beautiful. It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to implode.
I need football here immediately.
What was the last week? I think I called that the election week was going to be the week the Jets imploded. I don't really know what this year's week implosion is, but the first bye week maybe that the Steelers have, Aaron Rodgers is going to go do something weird. I don't know. He's going to go have a shaman bless him in the middle of Arizona in a dehydration hut. He's going to come back and be mean to Mike Tomlin because I don't know. Mike Tomlin's colors, he has purple around him. The shaman told him that's not okay. Well, his aura is the wrong color. Actually, I don't know if I should say that Mike Tomlin, but we can cut this. Sorry, but
no, it's staying in. It's just not a clip anymore.
Well, no, I mean, like, he's going to come back and be mean to Mike Tomlin at some point. Like, Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers are going to have a beef at some point. And
Oh,
Aaron
100%.
and like,
I'm waiting for the implosion that is going to be the Steelers.
here's the thing. I want to announce right now, I'm on Mike Tomlin's side. I just want to point that, yeah, I'm on his side. I don't care what the issue is. I'm on Mike Tomlin's side. I don't care if Mike Tomlin killed Aaron Rodgers' imaginary wife. I'm on his side. Just because, like, I know the issue will be coming from Aaron Rodgers, but I just don't want to do like a whole year-long retirement tour. And the thing is, he's not going to retire after this year, right?
No, he's going to do the same song and dance.
They're gonna go 9-8 or 9-8, or I don't know, 10. No, they're gonna go like 8-9 or something, because that's the Steelers. What they do, they're not gonna go above that. They're not gonna go below that or above that this year. And he's gonna be like, oh well, I do need to prove to myself that I can still do this. And he's gonna announce it on Pat McAfee, and we're all gonna be like, oh my god, he's gonna have to sign another year contract with maybe the Steelers. I don't know where else we'll sign him at that point. He's gonna the rainbow jersey, the KD. He's gonna do that, but with the NFL. It's gonna be the first one to ever do it, because he's just gonna not want to retire.
How dare you? Fitzmagic.
Yeah, never mind. Fitzmagic. I forgot he had a rainbow jersey. Honestly, love that guy. Good for him. This is gonna be most annoying. He's gonna be the most annoying person to do, which is crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that we can agree with.
Yeah. But I think I don't know. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Aaron Rodgers.
No, I don't care. I want him to go away.
One last thing on the NFL. I saw a graph this week. The least explosive offense in the NFL this season was the Raiders. Second least explosive, the Chiefs. Which was not surprising.
Made the Super Bowl.
No, it still made the Super Bowl. It's just what a different turn we've taken from the early days of the Chiefs.
Tyreek Hill days.
Yeah, well, he's stuck in Miami. I don't know. I'm not going to ride with Miami this year. I just kind of lost the.
Oh, come on! You got to run it back.
I chose another team. I chose another team already.
Are you going to let me know, or are you going to let it sit until?
I'm going to let you figure it out once the season begins.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
I knew the team at the end of last season, which team was going to be this year's. Yes, no matter what.
So what's the parameters for this? Not a clear cut, amazing team. Not a piece of shit team. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle that you think is going to like. Oh, it's like the Dolphins were. I'm going to show everyone up. Yeah, it's like I think I had the Cardinals last year for that, and like the Dolphins. And I think it's this year I have a team where I'm like, okay, they were good last season, and I think they have a higher ceiling. But I also just kind of like them in general. I like the idea of them. And so it's not the Cardinals or the Dolphins this year. It is another team. It's also I've got a couple guesses. But I'll save them. It's also not the Texans, but that's because I have to be pessimistic at some point on them. So yeah, you'll see when that happens. Chargers. No, not the Chargers. Good thought. Not the Chargers though. I do like where your head's at. It feels similar to them in some ways. So you had an NFC and AFC last time, not on purpose. Do you have one of each? I only have one this time. Okay. I'm not even going to give you because I think you're closer to guessing than you think you are. The Chargers were a really good guess. They're not in California, but it's a good guess. Broncos. Yeah, it's the Broncos. Okay. Well, I don't know why. I just feel I've ridden for the Broncos. I'm kind of there with you, man. I think they're going to be slept on this year. Yeah. I think they're going to have a really good year. At the end of the season, I made fun of Bo Nix after he got drafted for a good chunk of the early season. And then at the end, I was like, I actually really like Bo Nix. Like, I get it, Sean Payton. I get it. The Broncos also just seem like that organization that's never really shit. Yeah. And now I'm sure I'm misremembering certain things, but like the Broncos always feel like a way to be at least competitive. They got Tim Tebow to look good. Like, if that doesn't say that Lucifer's not helping them somehow, I don't know what does. Well, I mean, Tim Tebow is like the super Christian guy. Wouldn't that be the opposite? Well, same with Halliburton's probably Christian as well, and he's performing black magic before games. I mean, just because you have a Christian there doesn't mean. And he's saying, listen, Lucifer controls all of Denver. From the entire county line is because of a blue horse. Last things I want to talk about, Brian. I don't know if you have any sports notes. Okay. One, I went to Fredericksburg this week, and I went to a small town rodeo. One of the coolest things I've ever done. It was the Stonewall, Texas Peach Jamboree and Rodeo. Fantastic time.
It was way cheaper than the Houston rodeo.
Oh, I cannot imagine how much cheaper it was.
I mean, to be fair, it was $25 a ticket, but that was for the rodeo itself, getting in, and then the concert afterwards. And that was like perfect. And I mean, food was way cheaper. I tried a German taco. You go, Jordan, what's a German taco? I also had that question, which is why I got it. It was just a flour tortilla, sausage, and sauerkraut. Nothing more.
Honestly, sounds delicious.
It kind of was delicious, I'll be honest. But I did. So I went to we went to Fredericksburg this weekend. Then we went to the Main Street to walk around, and I think I found my favorite store in America. It is the funniest store of all time. And I just want to preface, I walk up to the sign and I go, okay, this can't be what it is. And the thing is exactly what it says. It's a very descriptive store name. And the possibilities for the store endless. It's called Things in a Room. Brian, that is the store name.
Things in a Room.
Things in a Room. And you walk in, it's one big room, and there are just things in it.
For you to buy.
For you to buy. It's like there's like backpacks and comforters and like just an assortment of stuff, and you're like, these are
certainly things in a
these
room.
Are things in a room. And my question to myself is, how far can this concept go? Like things in a room. How many things can you put in a room before it no longer is things? Can you put 2 things in said room and call it things in a room? They also have things outside the room, which I question, were they part of the store? Or was this a different store? They were not in said room. It's marked online as a fabric store, not a fabric store. Maybe started as a fabric store, changed significantly since then. But, I love it so much. I've also gotten into like watching rodeo stuff on YouTube. If anyone knows anything about rodeos, please let me know. Because I'm like, they're like different organizations, and I'm trying to figure that entire thing out. So
PBR,
I know. I used to watch a show on Netflix about the PBR. It was it's like the Drive to Survive, or was it Starting 5 or whatever, but for bull riders. It was actually really cool. They got canceled, I think, because no one watched it other than like me and 2 other guys. But then there's like one big one, and there's like smaller ones. I want to go to the finals of whichever, I think it was the CSPA or CRPA or something like that. And that's in Hempstead in September. I'm like, hey, girlfriend, what are you doing?
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, girlfriend, what you doing that weekend? Oh,
we had such a good time at small rodeo. Do you want to go to bigger rodeo?
I think she had a fun time, but then like at some point I was like, I was so engaged. Like when the bull riding, obviously the last event was the bull riding, and they had like fireworks beforehand. I think like at that point she's like, "Can we go?" I'm like, she's like, she didn't say, "Can we go?" But she was like, "Hey, you want to get out of here early, beat the traffic?" And I was like, "Sure," but I do love this a lot. It was just fun. It was like they had mutton busting as well. It was just a fun like, and the thing is, everyone seemed to know each other. Like everyone would come up and talk to each other, and we were the clear outsiders because. Let me see if I can find this one. Okay, so before we went, I went to Walmart, and I don't have a cowboy hat with me, so I bought the only cowboy hat they had. I got some looks for a certain reason. Now tell me this cowboy hat doesn't look like I'm a child.
Oh my God.
And I wore this all there. And like, it looked really stupid. And like, I see like actual.
No, I mean, I'm not calling you looking stupid. I'm just saying that, I can see why you got some looks.
Well, like the cowboy, like actual cowboys as well, would walk by, look at me and like do the, like look down real quickly and be like, look at this. I could tell they were looking at this. And I was like, yeah, man, I get it. I'm not going to fight you on that one. Like it does look a little like I'm like 3 years old and I'm a cowboy for Halloween. But I have been wearing that hat a lot. And like I said, I was playing The Wrestler by Bruce Springsteen and saying a cowboy has to take his last ride at some point. Much to my girlfriend's chagrin. Okay, we are at 54 minutes, and I say that because we were going to do hot topic, hot take, but I feel like we've kind of gone almost to an hour at this point. Maybe we can say
How long do you think one would take if you want to go?
The one I have is kind of it can be kind of long. Depends on it depends on if you agree with me or not. Don't know if you will, because I've said this to people and they go, "What is wrong with you?"
So since we had to talk about the NBA, I think we save it for next week because we won't have an NBA segment.
Okay. Right.
We'll have baseball and NFL just news and notes, and then it'll be going off about it.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll save mine for next week. It is I've almost written blogs about this multiple times. So
tease it. Give me a topic.
Yeah.
Give me a topic.
It's about driving. Let's say that.
All right, yeah, we're saving it because this is gonna get great. Okay, yes, because oh man, I feel like the hot take is going to be a starting point because the way our brains operate is we're gonna start with this take and we're gonna be way the fuck over here, and then we're gonna be like, oh, we got to get back, and then we're gonna finish the take.
Like America and America's government in the 1800s, there's a lot of room for expansion on this topic. So I imagine at some point it's not going to.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to start somewhere and then lead elsewhere.
Yeah, okay. No, if we weren't at 55 minutes, I'd be like, fuck it, let's go. No. But this sounds like it could be a 20-minute topic.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because we're going to go, pardon the pun, twists and turns and miss an exit, and just you name it.
No, I'm excited. I've said this to some people, and they'll be like, "What is wrong with you?" And I go, "I'm not wrong," and then they tell me I'm wrong, which is what this segment's about. I do want to end with
excited.
One thing, which is Love Island. I've nowhere else to talk about this, so I have to talk about this here. There was I think I talked to you about Jeremiah last week. Jeremiah and Huda. No longer Huda and Jeremiah are no longer a couple, but Jeremiah.
No,
I know.
No,
I mean that was actually America chose that. Yeah, I know.
America.
Some were sad.
Love is dead.
Love is dead because Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom are divorced or broken up or whatever. I don't know if you saw
Love
that.
is dead.
Love is dead. Love doesn't exist anymore. Well, actually, there's a girl named Amaya who I love Amaya. I think she's like this nice. She's a very sweet, nice person. It just seems like she got in a bad relationship at the beginning with a guy named Ace who was like a midget, which I probably can't say that too. I am like 5'8", so I can also say that. So he didn't like her, and he let the other boys not like her. She finally got in a relationship. Her name is Amaya. Her name is Maya. People call her Amaya Papaya. I think she's just the sweetest person in the world. She seems like just a wonderful soul. She gets the zoomies, as I have been known to do before when I drink heavily. But Jeremiah got voted off the island. Got dumped from the island or the villa. I don't know. They also are close to kind of Survivor, so I keep using Survivor terminology. But it felt like that scene from The Social Network where Eduardo Severin is like, he's like, I was called for a business meeting in the party, so I didn't know what to dress for. And they're like, well, what was you actually called for? And he goes, an ambush. And it felt like Jeremiah, that happened to Jeremiah, because he had to get voted off by the boys. And it was like, he wasn't supposed to. There's another guy named Austin who is Joshua Block who was supposed to, my captain. But yeah, so he got voted off, and you could see like it process it in real time. Like, oh, they're talking about me. But it felt like that scene in The Social Network. I did hope he was going to slam someone's notebook shut and then try to punch the guy from LimeWire or something. I can't remember which one. Whoever Justin Timberlake's character was, or maybe Justin Timberlake in general, just because, it's going to ruin the world tour. That's all I have this week.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything else.
No. Well, Brian, where can the people find you?
You can find me across all social medias at Auric Polaris, AURICPOLARIS, especially at twitch.tv/Auric Polaris. Still going through Elden Ring. Need to get back on that train. Playing Night Rain 2, or Elden Ring Night Rain. Yeah, I don't know why I like punishing myself so much. Maybe I'll throw in some Balatro streams to feel better about who I am as a person. Jordan, where can the people find you?
I mean, you gotta find a way to. I don't know. I was gonna make an Exodia joke here because we didn't make our Yu-Gi-Oh reference yet. And I don't know. Balatro seems like your fifth piece of Exodia. It helps you break free of the chains of Elden Ring. You can find me at Jordan's Thoughts on Twitter, and then find me also at Moonstamp across the board on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. There we go. I almost said X. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you listening. Wherever you're listening, please leave a like, a rating, a comment, whatever you can do on whichever platform you are on. We will see you next week.
Peace and bye-bye.